So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to gold plate some silver work that I did to add some more detail to it, and that way you don't have to actually buy a bunch of solid gold. So let's get started. Alright, to start things off, this is a system that was provided to me from Pepetools. So it's basically a pin that is the positive lead and a negative lead that goes into a voltage controller, and you can control how many volts you're putting into your piece. And this matters because the bigger the piece, the more voltage you need. Also, the different materials you're using will need different voltages. So you'll have to play with that. So I have some rose gold, and as you can see, the liquid is actually blue, but this comes out a rose gold color, or like a copperish looking color, but it is actually rose gold. I also have some 14 karat gold, it's yellow, and some black rhodium. So we're going to be adding gold to this piece, and we're going to go over the little balls that are on here and turn them into one of the golds. That being said, you could just buy gold itself, like so, and melt these into balls and use them in your work. The problem is, this little bit of gold right here is about $90 worth of gold. Granted, this is 24 karat. You could get a lot more if you're using like 10 karat, but still, you'll only get a couple of those little pieces. If you got something like this, you can get these for like $75 for a vial. And for this whole system here, this is $240. So yes, this is more than just buying gold for your piece. But you could probably do maybe 100 pieces or more using this, and you have one piece if you just buy the gold itself. So it's really up to you. And you can also use a code of mine to save $30 on any purchase over $100 on Pepetools if you wanted to buy any of this. But let's get to the actual point of this and start actually plating some stuff. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put gloves on. So with the main base of this thing, it has containers that come with it that you can fill with your solution. And you only want to put a very little bit in here because we're going to be re-dipping into here, and you don't want to contaminate this and ruin it because this liquid is expensive. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the rose gold. So this is all I'm putting in there. And make sure you put the lids back on these because this will evaporate and then you just wasted all that material. And I'm going to write on here making sure I know what this is, even though I can tell it's blue. I'm going to do the same with the others, putting my other solutions into them. So when it comes to the pin itself, it has a lid on it that you can take off, and you'll notice that there is a hole in here with no tip. And you should have some tips that came with this. And you want to make sure not to touch these with your bare hands or anything oily. And that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing gloves. So there we go. And I'm going to put this back on so it doesn't get anything on it. So now, this is the piece that we're going to be plating. And I need to clean it off because it has oils from my hands all over it. And to do that, I'm going to use just some, what is this, 91% alcohol, and spray it on. And then just wipe it off with a paper towel. And make sure to really get the areas that you plan on plating. Alright, so what you want to do first is take the black lead from the plating setup and attach it to your piece. This will basically complete your circuit once you touch it with the pin. So now I'm going to take my pin and take the lid off, but this will do nothing right now because it hasn't been in any of the liquids. So all I'm going to do is open this up. and just dip this in there for a couple seconds. Alright, so now I can start. And all I'm going to do is rub it on the surface. Doesn't look like it's picking up on the camera too well, but it is changing to a gold color. And you'll notice that it'll start getting, like it won't be putting it down as much anymore, and that's when you need to re-dip into the solution because you've ran out of gold in your the tip that you're using. Alright, so let me see how that's doing. That is extremely hard to see on the camera, but you can see that it is starting to turn yellow. Let's see if I can do it down here and get a better look. So there we go. And like I said, it's really not coming up on the camera, but you can tell that these are changing gold. Alright, there we go. So I've added gold accents to all the little balls. But I'm going to add rose gold to this now on all of the line work that goes around this piece. So to do that and to swap everything out, I need to remove this tip because this tip has the 14K and you don't want to mix these. So I'm going to grab a small bag to put that into. Alright, so I'm just going to take this and pull it out and put it into this bag. I technically could use this later for doing more 14 karat if I wanted to. Just make sure you mark your bag so you know what it is. Alright, now I'm going to start putting the rose gold onto the outside like I said it was. So there we go. I had a rose gold look to the outside of this now. And if you look on the back, it's still all silvery. So one thing you're going to want to avoid when doing this is using too much of the liquid so it can pour over the sides and get to the places you don't want it. I'm just going to leave it there because this piece is supposed to look all rustic and not perfect, but if you are trying to make a piece perfectly outlined, make sure you're using very little and keep going over it. So that's all plated now. Now I'm going to do the little band that goes around here. And then this will be to the point where I'm done plating it. But like I said, make sure you always have this thing on your piece or it won't do anything. Because it has to complete the circuit. So there we go. And you'll see that the bottom layer here also has been plated because that is silver. It's just because any type of liquid that gets off of your pen will start plating. You can fix this up later by taking a tool and taking that off, but it's really up to you. So there we go. Now this has a silver bezel, a 14 karat gold ball set up, and then all of the line work around the outside is rose gold. And then the back is still silver. But you'll see that some of it came out around the other side, and now it's plated right there. You can take a polishing wheel and polish that right off. That being said, your work needs to be polished beforehand. If you polish this afterwards, you're going to strip off your plating because the plating is very thin. So if you use it in areas that are going to be in contact with things a lot, then it's probably going to get rubbed off. So I'm just going to rinse this off with some soapy warm water, and it should be done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really simple to add gold accents to your pieces. And there's all different types of options and the different colors of gold. Basically what carat is a different color. Or you can get rose golds, you can get rhodium, you can get black rhodium like I have. So I'll be using this in future videos to add gold accents to more of my work, so I don't have to actually use solid gold. So that's about it. If you want to see how to make something like this, I'll have a link right here. And if you want to see how I actually set this using a hammer tool, there'll be a video down here for that. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.